On YouTube, you can say things like this because it's YouTube. Trump, tariff bomb. If tariffs are imposed again, the trade balance will decrease. Then, many people expect interest rate cuts. Out of the question.
Hello, nice to meet you. This is Dr. Kim from Richgo. Hello, this is Kim Ki-hyun from Richgo. Today is November 7th. Finally, the results of the 47th U.S. presidential election were announced yesterday. With President Trump's election, I would like to discuss what impact it will have on our economy and real estate in our country. It's a hot topic.
As soon as I heard that Trump was elected yesterday, I thought, this is really a big problem. What should we do about this? I'm really worried. I think many people are worried too. Since it's YouTube, we can talk about things like this. Trump, he just does whatever he wants. It's not about coexisting and doing well together globally. It's about making America the only one that does well. This is Trump right now. Personally, I really think this is a big problem for the Korean economy and Korean real estate.
I actually expected it to be a close race, but the results came out far from my expectations, not even close.
That's right. First, let's talk a bit about the strategies Trump put forward.
If you look at Trump, he aims to gain an advantage over others through coercive means like tariffs. I will impose the same tariffs on countries that impose tariffs on the US. I will impose a universal tariff of 10 to 20% on all imported goods. I will restrain countries with large trade surpluses with the US. This is Korea right now. So if you look here, it's about America first, protectionism, and a strong America. What does this mean? A strong dollar. So, the possibility of a rate cut in Korea decreases. If we impose tariff bombs, the trade balance will decrease. Then, looking at China, it seems we will completely sever ties. If you see a tariff rate of over 60% will be applied to China, while other countries have rates of 10 to 20%. We will revoke China's most favored nation status. In other words, China's exports to the US will decrease, which will negatively impact Korea's exports of intermediate goods as well. And whether it's China or the US, we constantly have to be mindful and adjust accordingly. I don't think it will be easy. Additionally, what else is there? I will reduce the penalties on US oil and gas resources, which is a good thing. Next, I will provide tax cuts for the wealthy and large corporations. I am also friendly towards cryptocurrency. As for climate change, it's a conspiracy. This is what we are talking about now. Therefore, fiscal spending will expand. This is because of the tax cuts. Then, this will also put pressure on rising prices, and it will affect the increase in US government bond yields. Many people are currently expecting interest rate cuts. This is now a lost cause. And as soon as Trump took office, there were assets that rose the most, like cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, and other cryptocurrencies surged significantly, while on the other hand, stocks related to electric vehicles in South Korea plummeted. I really don't understand why climate change is being called a conspiracy theory. I think this will make climate issues even more serious in the future.
First of all, the impact of the election victory will definitely be significant. While the citizens of the country may benefit from our country's perspective, there are many situations where we could suffer, and it has become an unstable situation. So, how will it turn out? How will South Korea's global market look?
So, rather than my own perspective, many people are saying that next year's global economic growth rate will drop by 0.8 percentage points. This is because, in short, there is a conflict with China. Then, China will be very displeased, and a trade war will be triggered, prices will rise, growth will slow down, and the worst-case scenario of an economic recession could become a reality.
The economy is already in a significant recession, and I'm worried that it will get worse.
Exactly. If this happens, the global economy, centered around China, could quickly slow down. This is what we are discussing, as I explained earlier. If the fiscal deficit increases, additional government bonds will be issued, leading to higher interest rates on those bonds. This will result in a stronger dollar, which will also raise exchange rates. If exchange rates rise, consumer prices will increase, putting a greater burden on domestic demand. So, When I heard that Trump was elected, the first thought that came to my mind was that this is really a big problem. And there is something that knows best what impact Trump's election will have. What do you think that might be?
The stock market was a major issue this morning.
There were significant fluctuations in stocks, exchange rates, and interest rates. If you look at the Kospi stock flow after Trump's election, you can see the blue line. It started off well. It almost reached around 2,600, but then it dropped significantly and only rose slightly at the end. The stock price hasn't been able to gain much strength yesterday or today after Trump's election. So the Kospi stock price has fallen. But the problem is, US stocks have risen. That's right. US futures are up more than 2%, but only South Korea's stock prices are falling. And looking at the Kosdaq, it's even worse. As you can see, it has been continuously falling for 2 days in a row, yesterday and today. Trump's election was very beneficial for the US, but it had a very negative impact on South Korea.
While the US stock market is rising, it seems that the South Korean stock market is showing the opposite trend, declining.
And yesterday, I was very surprised to see that the exchange rate increased by more than 21 in just one. More than 21. So, if you look at the fluctuation since March 2024, look at this bar graph. It started from here. So, whether it was Trump or Harris, there was hardly any fluctuation during that time. But as soon as Trump was elected, it shot up like this. Since March 2024, there hasn't been such a large fluctuation. The security situation has completely soared. So what happened? As soon as Trump was elected, the exchange rate skyrocketed uncontrollably. Fortunately, it has now fallen below 1,401, but just yesterday it rose to 1,4021 and 1,4031. The exchange rate surged significantly, and it feels like Trump's election has completely changed the flow of money. So just by looking at this, it shows how quickly money recognizes what kind of world will unfold if Trump is elected. And the last market to consider is the US government 10-year bonds. If you look here, as soon as Trump was elected, what happened? The increase is very significant. So today, what I captured shows that it has risen by more than 4.42%. Therefore, interest rates have surged significantly. So now, the question is, what impact will Trump's election have on the Korean real estate market? Just by looking at this, exchange rate is rising, right? Is a rising exchange rate good or bad for the real estate market? It's not good. It's not good. When the exchange rate rises like this, there have often been crashes in the real estate market. Right. Now, on top of that, US interest rates have risen again. So, is rising interest rates good or bad for real estate? It's not good. Then, because of Trump, stock prices are also going down, and the negative impact on exports, rising import prices, and the deterioration of the domestic market will also negatively affect the real estate market.
Trump is in his second term, but if you look at his first term, the housing prices in our country were between 2016 and 2020, right? During that time, didn't real estate rise a bit while people were buying?
It did rise, and at that time, there was actually almost no bubble. In South Korea, especially in Seoul, there was no bubble in real estate, and that was when Trump first became president. As a result, he couldn't act according to his own temperament, but this time, he has captured all the senators, right? So, compared to his first term, Trump has become much more powerful in his second term.
It really feels like he has fully equipped himself for a reappearance.
That's right. But what's important for Korea is that we have to fight against Trump, and the economic strength of Korea during Trump's first term is very different from the current economic strength. Trump has come stronger. So, what conclusion do I come to? I think this is a fatal blow to the already struggling Korean economy. This is a big problem, really. That's what I think. So, starting early next year, Trump will begin his presidency. Therefore, I don't think I'll be surprised by anything that happens while Trump is in power. In a way, he acts in ways that ordinary people can't even imagine. So I really think this could be a tough challenge for the South Korean economy in the future.
In a way, he's like a bouncy ball. You never know where he'll bounce. I think it's a time to watch how President Trump's re-election and reappearance will affect our economy and real estate market. I will conclude today's video here. Thank you.